So even the people who made after Gal Yisrael below b'shem pasuk. You can't even made after Gal Yisrael, not any pasuk. Chutz Hashem's pasuk. Tiftach, aside from Hashem's pasuk. Tiftach, which you could say between Gal Yisrael and Tefillah. Hagav Yesham Shaya Mutal Anos Amen Al Gal Yisrael. They also say it is mutal to say Amen on Gal Yisrael. B'chein Organ symbols the Menhag that we say Amen there. This is on the Torah. Yesham had the Tzarech l'smol gula tefillah. And there's those that say that this you need to put gula next to tefillah. Hani dafka b'chol, it's only during the week. Avu b'yom tov or on Yom Tov. On Shabbos and Tzarech l'Shabbos you don't have to do it. Pirush, the time of the Tzarech l'mitzvah gula tefillah. The reason why you have to put gula next to tefillah is the chesiv yanach Hashem b'yom tzvah, that Hashem should respond to you or answer you on a day of sorrow, pain. The samach le yul ratzanim refi, and it says it should be. And put next to it, and it should be for wanting or like accepted the words of my mouth. V'goli and my Redeemer. The Shabbos, and the Shabbos is not a time for pain that you'll be calling out for your pain. Millennials idea, in my humble opinion, near the Masha came by Yom Tov. This theory is not the same thing by Yom Tov. Whom Mishum Shemi made in is because these are the days of judgment. It's not Mishnah Beis, it says in the second Mishnah, Parakam Rosh Hashanah, the Pesach al Tuah, and Pesach you get judged on grain. This one goes to Shri, Parakam the Brachos, V'kolbo, V'hilchos Shabbos, V'mariel, Hilchos Yom Tov. We told the Hachmer, Lo B'makim Shetzarch L'kach, you need to go to be Machmer, except in a case where you need to do this. This is on the Torah. Amen. Aval Amenya Yish Meramba, for Amenya Yish Meramba, Kedusha Eina Machzik, you can't make a hefsek. But you could make a hefsek for Gal Yisrael. The main shach the bracha will have a hefsek, because the main shach to this bracha, because this is, I guess, the bracha of the main of this bracha, and it's not a hefsek. Mashin can be able to not by these of the Yish Meramba Kedusha. V'chein logim to make the menad hainu achar chaz v'lo achar atzma. That means after the chazan, not after himself. You don't say amen after yourself. Behind the elbow, some psalm vav look earlier some zav bagav mission berura shom mission berura there. The Shabbos, the Yom Tov and Yom Tov given the Yom Hazeh have a kashar yomim. Since this day is like other days, Yom Tzara have a b'shai on other days. It will be Yom Tzara. Shaykh bei gam kein hefsek. A pasuk to Yancha Hashem, it's also applicable to pasuk of Yancha Hashem. Because this day, and whatever weekday it was, you would say it is a Gal Yisrael day. Achar pasuk Yularatzon. After the pasuk of Yularatzon, the Ma'aber, which is talking about Gula. So it's applicable to say Yom Tzara after Gula. Because I guess if this day was a weekday, whatever day it is, even though today's a Yom Tov, but weekdays it'll be at Gal Yisrael time. Last one, so it's not a time for pain. Rabbi Yosef Cholak goes out the Beis Yosef. Rabbi can listen to Sfirle the Hu Cross Samach Rama. That's a pasuk which says Yom Tzara and Yom Hashem. It's just a general connection. The main thing where you can put Gula next to it is just from the Rabbanon. Shadimo Shmona Asif Brachos Achas Kabirchos Gula. They made it similar. The Shmona Asif Brachos after the bracha of Gula. The Avo Shamelach. After Gula, the reason why they said Shmona Asif Brachos after Gula is because it's similar to this case of L'Ovo Shamelach, the friend of the king. Shabal V'Davikal came and knocked on the door. Hamel Fiat Melch of the king. Biyasu Melch Brasman. Melch came to speak to him or to meet him. The Imroy Malch Shehiplik, and the king sees that he ran away or that he left. The Holoflon he left. Afu Mafla Vishuv Einam Eskarga. Even he leaves and doesn't come back. Elo. Kishachoza Vidofa, when he goes back and re-knocks, he doesn't come back to him. He's like, okay, he's gone. I don't know, he's knocking again for him. I'm not going to go there and see nothing. Same thing when B is mafsik between Gula and Tefillah. He only comes once, and if you and he knocks, he came, and then if you're not asking right then you're not at the door. But okay, because the Ramah told the Hachal, if the Ramah says it's good to be machmer, and even on Shabbos and Yom Tov you should be matzah gula tefillah. Shetzorach l'kach, in case we do need, hani the mutter l'ana tamein yesh mirabah, that means that it's be mutter to answer mean yesh mirabah kedusha baruch hu ben gula tefillah the Shabbos after Shacharis, and baruch hu between the gula tefillah of Shabbos even on Shacharis. Ken gaz v'eli rabba, this was the Eli Rabba, right? So prima gadam l'sham v'ti v'shalim prima gadam l'sham v'ti v'ayim berlach, and the prima gadam l'sham v'ti v'look at berlacha. Told Malachim Lo Malachim Shetzarach L'Kach. It's good to knock the second place in case where you need it. I mentioned really good Mishnah Berurah Samdi the Hakalin of Mistam to be Makelin and Yes Meni Yishmarabba to in regard to answering Meni Yishmarabba. After Shari Tshuva, because even though Shari Tshuva writes the Lafimash the Master Shagi Yasagi, according to what the Shagazai concludes Allah Gadas Abeis Yosef, like the Beis Yosef in Lachalik the Indian Smith of Gula Tefillah ben Shabbos L'Chol. There's no can't make a difference between attaching Gula Tefillah between Shabbos and the regular weekday. And Cain, Tuain, the hawk of possessive, so further you can no longer be makel by this. You come up from near and yes, he still attends my humble opinion to end the hacham because they can't be machmer about this. Achway the field will call yesh makil and then yes, elu. Since even during the weekday, there is people are makel even with these kind of responding of kaddish kedusha, ben gula tefillah, ben gula and tefillah. I'm the safer Ebenezer. Look the Ebenezer. Yesh l'smoch al kopanim al zel in Shabbos. You can rely on this at the very least when you go to Shabbos and possibly with their chaim, somebody their chaim. I'm a good Rav Akiva Eiger. Look at Rav Akiva Eiger. Just the mountain in Shabbos that I stand in regard to Shabbos. The motzei for shikar kriya shema. That if you found its congregation already read kriya shema, but home them this problem is starting to daven. And mutter lahaskol is imam if it's mutter to start and to daven with them. So they're already ready to daven. You just skip Shema. Ulapel Katas, Shalom Hivio, Shalom Kambudim, it's a pellet that he didn't bring the Shalom Kambudas. The Elirab, cost of affairs, Lakel, Pazah, he's right for affairs, that he can make one of this Gam came to the Rama, even according to the Rama, also according to the Rama. Mashmin is the Husfirle, Afila de Rama, after the Smichel Gula Tfila, the Shabbos Shach was Kamir Mitzmir Yichusachol. And it's much that he holds that even the word, according to the words of the Rama, it's possible that the putting next to Gula Tfila Shabbos Shacharis is more common than Mariv of home. And which Mariv we know you could skip Gula Tefillah, but here Shabbos Shacharis might be different. Ulefi my the Masik Shacharis, according to the Shacharis, concludes Allah has the Beis Yosef, Allah is like the Beis Yosef. V'vadein lahakol b'tin zeh, I'm sure you can't be making this then and just start davening. V'divrei Shari Tshuva, emes yativ le'inin zeh, gam in regards to Shari Tshuva, emes yativ in this topic, the gam in a minute lahakol was that. Also, the minhag is not to make about this, so therefore you can't be makel. Meaning the words of Shari Tshuva are MSVS are true. And they says, Akazim Shemas Kol Nishmon Esrei, and Akazim Misharts Mon Esrei B'Kol Ram and Lav Voit. Closer on Hashem Savasei Tiftach V'Yagit L'Tzecha. He says, Hashem Savasei Tiftach V'Yagit L'Tzecha. Closer. The Mishmer says, the pasuk there, who shackles Tefillah can out. The pasuk is applicable to Tefillah, as I said earlier. But Tok Shiyomen and Balak is good, so you should say it in quietly. It's in the Achronim. Al Bashar V'Sukkah in Torah. But the other Sukkah you don't have to say. If he wants to say, and then he could say other psukim. God the Prima Ganim says the Shliach Tzibur Ein Rishai LaHafsik Ben Ela'achar Sheispal B'La'achar Shrak L'Davar Mitzvah. The Shliach Tzibur can make a separation between after he's davened except for his davar mitzvah. They go on the honest and many Yishmirav, for example, respond many Yishmirav, Kedom stuff like that. Aladar Rishos and Yir below. But for Rishos you can't. It seems you can't do it. The Choser V'Omi goes back and says, I'm Yishmirav, Yishmirav. These the Ayanim Adam Shachak Lomer Hashem Tzavas Like the person forgot to say Hashem Tzavas Like and Zemer with the Sar and Be'etzim Tefillah counts the lack in the main Tefillah itself. Given the Kavur Rabbanim Tefillah, since the Rabbanim sends up in Tefillah, although the Ein Lahavi Raya is Mikan the Kasvu Achon. You can't bring a Raya to this from what the Choronim writes, Yom HaKazim L'Afis, the Chazim to say it quietly. Im Kain, Hashemim Klasul Hem Hezeh, Pasuk, so the people who are listening are going to be missing this Pasuk. Afilu Hacham Yosef Yidei Tefillah, and still being Yosef Tefillah. Shali Hosa, the Lo Shach Gabayu Klal Zeh Pasuk. It's different because it's not applicable to them at all, this Pasuk. The Hashem Sefaz Leitiv Doch, Hashem open my mouth. Kivan Shal Adam Mispal Mis, Mispal it's not praying on their own, they're just listening, so whatever the Chazan says, he's the one who needs to have Hashem open his mouth and makes it right. They're just listening. Mashen Kimbam, which is not true in general when you're davening yourself. Yosef Mistav the low with Tefillah. Arich doesn't mean it's more Mistav. They didn't say that it's like a long prayer. Dami Raka Inin Shaloi He has to be in Gula Tefillah. Just in regards to that, it shouldn't be considered to have to be in Gula Tefillah. Avalog with Tefillah Mamish Mamish Tefillah itself. Actually, Tzarach Lakazi B'Shvil until he would need to have to go back and repeat because of this. Say, I'll prove it to you. The Hamrin Nami Lenin Hashkivenu. We also said in regards to Hashkivenu, Gula Rifla Damiya. It's like long Gula. I feel welcome, family, and still we pass in the brachos in ma'akos, was the brachos are ma'akos one another. Vim hechzir hashkivenu, forget hashkivenu, yotze b'yakos emes v'yas, b'memuna, he v'yotze b'temes v'emuna. This is from brachos test, I wouldn't mean it too long gula, no, you did. Just like it had on. Vim kein al korchot u'onem rak lehin, will have the hefzir ben gula, tefillin for stolen, for course it's only said in regards to it's not a hefzir between gula and tefillah. Also, now we're going to arts here in our topic. In Machalo Kara Kriyashma, before you start reading Kriyashma, Matzah Zibra must follow the congregation is davening. Will you follow the Mom shouldn't pray with them? Ela Kara Kriyashma, the reads Kriyashma back off, he's following afterwards davening. This Mitzvah will Tefillah, other than putting next to Gula next to Tefillah is better. Kara Kriyashma reads Kriyashma, wrote Shlomo to say in Brachos with its brachos. The Kol Zeb is Shachos all Bas Shachos. Abba Arvis is following Mom Vachach Kara Kriyashma, you should daven with them, and afterwards read Kriyashma. This is from the Achronim. Commercial costs of the 7 race Lamed Vav, it says in race Lamed Vav, Sib Gimel, Ein Sham, look there. Coffee Bays. Al Yishal Adam B'Saracha B'Shalosh Rishonos, a person shouldn't ask for his needs in the first 3. Below Brachos and Shmonas, below B'Shalosh Rishonos, not in the last 3. B'Dafka Tzarcha Yakud is only for the needs of a single person can't ask. Al B'Tzarcha Tzib B'Shar, but for asking the needs of the congregation, it's mutter. Al Yishal, the Shalosh Rishonos Lama Hin Dom, the first 2 are the comparable to Levich Misad Shevach Migravo, to a servant or slave which shuts up his praise before his master. And the middle ones are for similar to an Abbot who's asking for his food from his Rabbi. The Abbot should keep on pras Mirabu Shemishabko V'Holoflo, that to an Abbot which accepted until the last ones are considered to an Abbot Shekibu pras Mirabu Shemishabko V'Holoflo, that he praises them and leaves. Ulufisha Rishonam Haim we say the Shabbat because the first ones are from the words of Shabbat. L'shol behem trachalev, it's not proper for them to ask for his needs. Who was in Achronim similarly for the last ones which are for except saying thanks, therefore again you shouldn't be asking his in Shari. Shizahu gam came in and Shabbat can cover the Ram. This is similar to praise and honor to the master. Shiram Shishman needs in this from the Torah. If many people need them and it needs the rabbi, that's also praise. So you can say in the first 2. Bays. Enlom abutim lo krovitz. Can't say a butim and neither a krovitz. Parish krovitz lioter. A krovitz to yoter. Can't say that thing. Yisham Roshi Tevus Kol Rina B'Yeshua, and some say it's the Roshi Tevus for saying Kol Rina, voice, song, Yeshua, and salvation, Bali Tzadikim in the houses of Tzadikim, Tefillah. So you can't say these things during Tefillah. Hagal, V'yesh Matir in the Hoil V'Tzarka Rabbim, some Matir since the needs of the Matir, the needs of the Rabbim, to say these things, these Putim and these prophets. So the Rosh, Vatosvos, Variv, Varan, Rish Perik, Bash, the Rosh Hashanah, Lagos Maimoni, Perkit the Torah. Clay Nogam Bakom Bakum Stat. He's not on all places to say. The V'yesh Matirim, the Mishnah says, the Jews read Vaz Gimel, and the Jews read Vaz Gimel, The Mitzvah Lamzer, the Herach Gamkin Lahatir is very lengthy to be Matir. Snamag Giburim. Because of Shiesh Biadu B'tah Shelos Shishol Echam and Arishonim, that he has a few responses, few questions which were asked from one of the Rishonim Mishemayim. The Rishonim asked heaven, Hayadeh his boys this through going through putting themselves alone, with tefillos and prayer, but of course Trimos and mentioning Hashem's name, they did the whole Kabbalah thing to ask Hashem. V'hayim Meshivelo al Shelosov, and they were responding to his ask, to his request, or to whatever they were asking. V'shal Gamkein V'yeshivelo Shematur, he asked also about this, and they responded, it's mutter to say these piyutim. The Ayin Shem his here, all the bleach, Lashanas, the Minhag, looked there, he was very careful, he was warned very much not to change the Minhag. I'm Basim and Samachas, look at the Bachot and Samachas, Sheherach was there, which was lengthened out this, B'chaim B'shanas, Jews, Havas Yar, Simmer Samachas, Yesh Lomer, Shafiyut, and Be'en Lashanas. And Shem Lashanas, the Shabbos Jews, the Havas Yar, that says, you could say the pursuit Yutim and they shouldn't change this. Allow me to say them. I'm just look at the pre-Kodesh. His year Ma'od Shalom La'avro Ayad Mizman Kriyashma. They shouldn't pass from because of them the time Kriyashma Tefillah or davening by saying these piyutim. These Anos Ayad Mum Adach and Chatos shouldn't be afflicted till them to after Chatos and Hashem there. Vimhu Rosh Tzibur Yavru Mizman Kriyashma. If he sees that the Tzibur is going to pass down Kriyashma all your days, are refussing through the lengthiness. Lo Yam Delim. Don't wait for them to say it yourself. This is from the Torah that El Basim and Simon Class B'Shem Ramah. Ein Shamlaker. Ela Shadaitu Husham Shiomer Adal Nelam Yisrael Be'esh Shavam. Shavam, that is just opinion that they just say until Ha'on Be'lam Yisrael Be'esh Shavam. Elov. V'sham Yasha Al Shadal Tibur, and then you should wait for the Shadal Tibur. Below taxis that can I even copy this over Mishram. The Lapam Yitzarach Lahashos, the shows Kedeh Ligmor Eskula. Sometimes you would have to wait if you did this enough to finish the whole thing. Each day has been a postkins of plenty from the postkins that feel below, and this is from I am Besim Zamachay. That feel below when they close the Rosh Talit. Down on this, if you're waiting, can they finish the whole thing? You would have to repeat. Ramah Efshidul Sabakin from Ramah is possible doesn't hold this way. The Kafkas Shiomer Ad Biat Venachim. That's why he said he should wait. He should stay until Biat Venachim. V'Hayla Elbus of Simon Samachov. Look earlier in Simon Samachov. V'Agash Shikos of Gains is right similar to this, but if you should just go to finish the whole thing, because you may have to wait the whole time if you're waiting for these people to finish their piyutim. So it's better just to finish. You would have to repeat otherwise. Since the rather wants to start Yotzer, or who Yasko Latimo, who was starting with himself, and he should start by himself, quietly, let's pal Seder to daven in order, Ad After Hashem Lokei Fahimis, until after Hashem Lokei Fahimis. Visham Yamtim Geshtika, then you should wait for Shtika, V'lo Yidaber Afilu B'Divrei Torah, and then you shouldn't save him with Divrei Torah. I should give Shtil Tibur also the Osam Malcolm V'Yispalim of the Seder, until the Shtil Tibur gets to that place, and you stand up daven in order at that point. So you shouldn't go all the way to V'Yishav Melav, and then Tehillah and then right before the start of right before God Yisrael, but he should start right before Amos Yah, because that way you won't have to go back to the beginning anyway. So just stay until Yah Tzimnach. Okay. Elu brachos shochim behem. These are the brachos that you bow in them. It's called Yud Gimel. But avos techila v'sof, by avos is the beginning and the end of part of the avos brachos. And b'hadas, because does this over there and by hadah brachos, the modem brachos say at the beginning and the end. There's the bowing at the beginning, bowing at the end. The imbal ishkos b'sof kol brachos over techila. So if it comes to bow at the beginning of all the brachos, or at the end of all the brachos, or at the beginning, malamdin also shalom yeshka, we teach him that he should not bow. Avos b'mtzi so yochel ishkos, but if he wants to bow in the middle, then he is able to bow. Behodos stilos the sofa at the bowing down at the beginning and the end. Hainu betchilas modem, which means the beginning of modem, the sofa at the end of it. Kishemisayim brachad Hashem betovet shimcha. Let's see what's happening from shimcha. This came out from Rambam. Perakei milchus tefillah halachiyot. Ayin sham was there. B'ayim v'yash brachas amidal. Ayin amidal. Dibir mat tefillah sof. Shlo yishka. that he shouldn't bow. He shouldn't bow. Today Shlo Yavel Akar Takanas Kam shouldn't come to uproot and Takanas Kam. This one it has. Shlo Yom Mikol Achon Machmir B'Kamoshe who wrote so that each one is machmir like he wants. And therefore you shouldn't bow except the ones that where it's just Takanas Kam. V'gam the Chashina the Yehuda also concerned the hardiness Shem Machtigat may also make kosher mishar. See where they make themselves establish themselves as more whole kosher than the rest of the congregation. Of them, so you spoke to the middle ones. King some of the Achronim, similar to some of the Achronim, Habi Achronim, Zelo Kaifim Mara Shegim Gim Laser. Not like the Kaifim Mara, which is he goes back and forth to Aser. This one the Magen Geburim. Yachol Lishkos is able to bow. Shein Lachosh Shiavul Akar Tachanas Kachamim Ali. We're not to be concerned that he's going to come to uproot the Tachanas Kachamim for this. Kim Shechachamim Lo Tziknu Klal Lishkos B'Yam Tzishem Bracha. Since the Kachamim didn't set up to bow down in the middle of any bracha, therefore when he bows down in the middle of his bracha, it's not comparable to any of the Tachanas Kachamim. Hanuhagim Lishkos V'Rosh Hashanah. Okay, let's actually see the berura. Bimba Lishkos, he wants it down in the middle of other brachos, he shouldn't do it. He named the word of the early rabbi Muchal that Isru Dafko Barachata. This was only by bowing down Barachata. But so bracha mamish, but at the very end of the bracha, if you say it like Gali or you could bow down then at the end of it. Bracha Hashem, and then start bowing, Bracha Hashem, and then the bowing down, that would be fine. What's the prima god and practically was able to prima god and ask questions about this as he couldn't. Find Rashi Brachos, Lamadal, look at Brachos, Lamadal, Lamadal, the Ramaskal, Tehila, Besov at the beginning and end. Then before Rashi Kamodem, Rashi explains the Modem, Lachon Elados, and Lachon Elados. So Alzem is time, Grace, this device concludes the Besov, Pol Shar Brachos, the end of any other Brachos, Malam Nishlo, Ishal, Ishkai, they teach them they shouldn't bow down. Mash the prima godem, it's Mash from the prima godem. As Mash like the prima godem, that you shouldn't, even at the end. Valzem is time of Bryce to the Besof Kol Shar Brachos Melangos Leishka, Mashu Fineman. Really Rashi Lav Dafka, it's possible the Rashi could be Lav Dafka, Bagam Humba, Atmosphere like a Raman, even he hold like a Ramba, Bam the Sof Bracha, Hainu, Kisha Omer Bracha Hashem Hatoiv. That the end of the Bracha really meant when you're saying Bracha Hashem Hatov, but not the actual very end of the Bracha. Besov Bracha, at the end of each Bracha. Because of the Lech Hamudis, in Omdim, look at the Lech Hamudis it says in Omdim. Because Rashi says you shouldn't be bowing at Modim, Lachon Elados, that part. Right? But it doesn't mention the Bracha Hashem. But it could be he's just Lav Dafka. And when he said Lachon Elados, he really means Bracha Hashem Hatov in that part of it. Okay. Besov Bracha, the end of Bracha. Because of the Lech Hamudis, the Lech Hamudis rise of Pag in Omdim, She'en Lo L'Kro, Bisham Bracha shouldn't bow at any Bracha, Misham Bracha B'Tchila, or Besov, another Bracha from the beginning or the end. V'afilu She'en Misham Miyashmon Esrim, and then now the Shmon Esrim. B'Kaf Hani Omer, therefore I said, Shatoim, Kol Sholkum, they're making mistakes. All the people who bow. V'Berachos the Torah, when they bow Berachos the Torah, B'Tchila, Besov at the beginning and the end of that. Ein Shalom there. I'm Mashik, Samtim Mishnah Bro, look what Hashem Mishnah Bro is cutting Vav, B'Shem and Taz, name of the Taz. The Lachor Social is that, and the Lachor Tostas. But Ulai the Bracha Gama La Tazos, it's possible that even by the Bracha, even the Taz would answer. The near Kamosif Vachiyu, Hakriyas, it seems like he's adding on to the obligations of bowing. Shalot Tiknu Bracha Zavos, and Modem, if you only set up by Avos and Modem. Okay. So they would bow Birchas the Torah. Hanahagin Lishchos Rosh Hashanah. One who has a minute to bow during Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur and Yom Kippur. Kishom Zachreinu, and they say Zachreinu Mikhamocha, and when they're saying the Mikhamocha, they bow. Then Sheikhon is called for Kishim Magiyam, the self bracha. They have to straighten themselves when they get to the end of the bracha. Hagam, the Afagat the Avos Korea, the self bracha. Even though by Avos you were going to bow down at the end of the bracha, so I want you to straighten up. Right when you're saying Zachreinu. Okay. Mikol Malcolm's Tzarech Lizkov Ma'at, there's still you have to straighten yourself a little bit. The Sofer Zacharinu, at the end of Zacharinu, Kidei Shehei Nira Shechos, if it which should appear that you're going back, redoing the bowing. Misham L'Chiyah, because of the obligation, not to be like continuation of your choice bowing. This from the Miyashim L'Fiyah Torah, this from the words himself, according to the Torah. Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur Kishomin, the Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, they understand it, they bow. V'chein Enogim, they spell similar, someone has the minute to daven and call it Tefillah Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur B'Kuyam. Entire prayer on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur with bowing. This is from the tour of the Shulchan Aruch, Siman Tov Kaf Pei Hey. Shriach and Lizkov for Sof Kol Bracha, they have to get up at the end of every bracha. Mitzchilas Kol Bracha, at the beginning of each bracha. This one the Taz, they have to be up. Shlomo Hosef al Dekan Eskom, not the Anas and Dekan Eskom, Shlomo Seknu, El Mitzchilas Avos V'Ados, which was so fun. They only set it up at the beginning of Avos and Hodah, and at the end of them, those parts. Zachreinu Mikamocha, Zachreinu Mikamocha, they bow down. In the time Shabbat, we have the reasons the same by them. The Mikamocha Trichon is called Gemara. In Mikamocha, you have to get up, straighten up before the end of it. The Birchas Mechayim Mason Ben Sham Shchiyah Mitzad Dekan Eskom, because by the Chayim Mason, there's no bowing down from there's no Tekana to bow down from the Chachamim. And if he's bowing down, then it's like he's adding on to the Tekana Chachamim. B'Zachreinu Yisham Shchiyah, but by Zachreinu there is a Shchiyah Mitzad Tekana Chachamim. From the Tekana Chachamim, Kishom Brachat Hashem Magen Avraham, and he says Brachat Hashem Magen Avraham. Akiva and Shezeh Shocha B'Chol Atfilas. This person is bowing the whole prayer. Lo Yeh Nicker Tekana Chachamim won't be recognized as the Tekana Chachamim if he's bowing the whole time. Well, if he's Yesh still explains the people at Zachreinu. According to this, is the difference between getting up and Zachreinu, and Zakifa the Mikamoko, and the getting up and Mikamoko. The Zachreinu Sarach Lizkov called him Shiom Reis the Tevos of Smuchos the Baruch. That by Zachreinu you have to straighten up before he says certain words before Brachata. Kedei sheyuchol achakach l'shchos k'sheyom Brachata, in order to be able to bow down when he says Brachata. But Zakifa the Mikamoko, by the great straightening up of Mikamoko, ain't tzarich l'tzkof ad sheyom Brachata. You don't have to straighten up until you say Brachata. V'chein b'shar brachos she'en behem shchiyah b'sofen. Similarly, other brachos don't have any bowing down at the end of them. You don't have to straighten up before that. Mishum Chiyah, this one is has. Mishum Chiyah, because of the obligation, you should have to show this is not just a continuation of the choice one. Okay. Kiyah Shchiyah, Rishona Haisu Rishos, because the first one was a choice, it chose to do it. Then it voted time. Further reason why we would have to get up before doing Brachat Hashem. From the Magen Avraham Hashem Aguda. Shetzarach L'Tzkov K'dei L'Chroa Achakach V'Barach L'Tzkov B'Shem. You have to straighten up in order to bow down at Baruch and to straighten up at the Shem, because the Lakam is going to say there's a way to do the bowing, and if you're bowing already, you won't be able to bow at Baruch and get up at Hashem and do the proper way that's going to set up. Gimel says, when it bows down at the time when it says, and all standing people in front of you bow, or into you alone we bow. Oh, behodah the halal or by the hodah and halal or berachas says that he bows down. Harizem megunas and meguna. Perish she'ein l'chroa el hamakom she'tiknu chachamim. It's only bow down when the chachamim set up the tikana. Well, the halal berachas hamazon, by hodah and halal and berachas hamazon, he bows down. Hainu betod v'hodel Hashem kitov, and he hodel Hashem kitov, he bows down. And berachas hamazon b'nod l'cha and berachas hamazon b'nod l'cha or b'va alkol or b'va alkol and a modem and on a modem b'zivs. This one to me Rabbi Yonah, but after who the emsa brachim, it's in the middle of brachim, michamakom, meguna, stos, meguna, b'atam, k'mosh k'sal, the Mishnah Berurah, b'shem, or taz, the reason is because they said in the Mishnah Berurah's name, the taz. Meguna, the ein l'shchos, ela mashet, the ein l'shchos, ela mashet, tiknu, the is only to wait to bow with Shabbat, the tzkan of Saram, Mehai time English goes with the Yerushalayim Yerushalayim. For this reason, you shouldn't bow down by the Yerushalayim or Bon Yerushalayim. Lo Kamril, not like Kamril, this is the Dakim Moshe. Because of Magan Ram, the Dakim Ram writes, the after Sheyesh come out, it's possible it should bow a little bit. Because of the Bishmon Esfer. Fine. Because of Bishmon Esfer, also Bishmon Esfer. Abu Shalom Bishmon Esfer, and Abu Bishmon Esfer, Yachal Kral, the Shtach was Ketzonik, is able to bow down into other types of bow down like as he wants. Mishum Haki, the Torah really depends on his needs. It's to kneel and to bow down, but that's fine. Mishum Haki, Mitzinu Rabbi Kiva, Shahadam, Machini, Maniacal, Begarazavas in this fight, and because of this we found about Rabbi Kiva that a person will leave in this corner, Zoom, Motiv is obviously there, to find him a different corner. Meirov, Krios, Vishtachos, because the majority of kneeling and bowing down. Because of both of the posting right, and the high is there, the after Shasim Shmon Esrei, this was after finish Shmon Esrei brachos. Mashos to Shulchan Aruch because this is Shulchan Aruch goes by this. Mishum the Kol Adas Seilu, all these Hodas who derech Shavach V'Hul is because of praise and other types of praise. Vein Shavach Kriyas Vishtach was not applicable to them bowing, kneeling and bowing. V'Kolkum L'Tanachos Vishtach and by Kol Kum L'Tanachos Vishtach even the Enu Omer Al Asmo. Since he's not saying about himself, he's saying about the whole world that should bow down in front of Hashem Yisbarach. Gam Kein Derech Shavach V'Hilul, it's also called Derech Shavach V'Hilul. Aber V'anachnu Koyim V'Shachvim She'al Atzmo, remember by V'anachnu Koyim V'Shachvim that he's talking about himself, Yachulu L'Torah, that he himself is able to bow. So the Taz Ein Shemot look there further. Himmel says, HaKareh B'Chol Kuma. I'm looking room Shedochel him so Matan the Minhag. He's also to find a reason for the Minhag Shnagu Ha'olam L'Chorah V'Baruch. The whole world has a minhag to bow down by Baruch and Shlomo there. Ulam be'emes yesh the minhag the samach min hamikra. Maybe this minhag has a source from the Psukim. B'divrei Yamim and Divrei Yamim alef. The capital Chavtas Kav Pasuk Chav. Ayin Shlomo there. A minhag Yisrael Torah in the world. A minhag Yisrael Torah. So you do have to bow by Baruch. Okay. Shulchan Aruch. HaMisval Tzarech she'echuya ad she's pakaku kol chol yeshiv. The person who's davening has to bow until it's like bent or it's knocking out all the rings of his spine. V'lo yachra be'emtzam masna. We shouldn't bow just at the middle of his thigh, like middle of him. Roshi yishar zakum, and his head should stay straight. Ella gam roshi Yaakov ka'agmon, rather even his head should bend like an agmon. I think that's a reed. Okay, she's baku, means she's being knocked out. Paka kulash and kesher, the paka is like a knot. Rotel mitzvah shemachmos akriya, because the balancing bolts in the ksharim shalachliya that knocks out or sticking out the knots of the spine. Okay. Lo yishka kolkach achi, and he says lo yishka kolkach achi piv connected. You shouldn't bow down so much until his mouth should be next to his belt, or Shamach Hassan of his pants, V'imhu Zake, and if he's old, or chol, or sick, V'enu Yachol Ishkos Achi Spach, when he's not able to bow down until the rings of the spine are sticking out. Kivin Shehir, since he bent down, Vish Shehishbol Rosh Dayav, since he bent down his head, it's enough. Me'achos Shenikashu Kavitz Kurov Elish Mitzar Hatzim, since he recognizes about himself that he wants to bow, he's just in pain, and he can't. Kokach, the Mefsi. Okay, let me see the Dalit says. Hamisval Tzal Sheyafra. Who was in Befriya Sha'os Machor Shtash? See him similarly the bowing down which he does after the finishing of Tefillah. Can be over Simon Kaf Kapei. Gimel Skin in Simon Kaf Kapei. Namadin Hachas also has this then he has to bow down till all his spine things stick out. Can use the Ram Parakeh Melchas Tefillah. Okay, Hay the Mishnah said. The Mishnah about Hay says, Coke out so much. The Machzik Yehur looks like Yehur when he bows down so much below his belt. Sheshofag Yos Meshir Shechil, that he bows down more than the need for bowing. Measure for bowing. Korea Baruch, which is also Hashem. When he bows down in Baruch. When he straightens up at Hashem. Okay. The Mishnah Berurah says, Korea, Baruch, when he says Baruch, he should Yechor b'Berakov, he should kneel with his knees. This one the Magen Avraham Derech Chaim and the Eli Rab Mashar on the other front. If Shomer Atam Zata Yeshla Adshis Yispachuk Kalis, he should bow until his spine is sticking out. Which Omer Vadim it says Modim Yechor Rosho, he should bend his head, V'Gufo V'Ka'agmon, and his body like a reed, V'Las at one time. V'Yamukach V'Shchia Stavis V'Shchia Ad Hashem until he says Hashem's name. The Ozzy is called and then he should straighten up. This one the Chayal and the Chayim Mukha Pudim Ramba. So if Hashem straightens up Hashem, the Ksiv Hashem Zog Puvim, as it says Hashem straightens up bent people. Hamisvalu Ba Keneg the Wakim, when he's davening and the guy comes in front of him, Yevishlo Tamunas Shasavarium, and he has on him the form of a Shasavar of a cross. The other in his hands. When he reaches the place where you bow down to him, shouldn't bow down, even though he's intending for heaven, don't bow down there. Pisha Zokif, when he's bowing down, Zokif Hashem, he bows down on Hashem. I'm not going to Ram Hashem Kaf Kaf Get the sign, look along Ram Hashem Kaf Zam Hashem Avor, Estas Mari, we cleared the opinion of the Mari lay, the Kriya of the Tzilas, Shem Tzilas Bracha, the bowing down which at the beginning of the Bracha, Imrata Shalom. Let's go if he wants not. The bowing, which is at the beginning of the bracha. If he only wants not to be straight, only if it's close to the end, or it's just be others, he could do that. But if he wants to straighten up immediately, Hashem, he has to straighten up at Hashem. But then with the bowing at the end of the bracha, he's obligated to straighten up immediately. In order that you shouldn't be bowing down at the beginning of the next bracha. But you could stay bowed for longer until the end of that bracha, according to this opinion. Unless you want to go straight up, then you do it at Hashem. Okay, so then you would have to actually get straightened up at Hashem because you couldn't stay bowed until after the bracha, because then you're going to be stuck bowed for the next bracha. And because it's just Hashem is okay in that pasuk, Hashem straightens up the bend, that alone that wouldn't need him to straighten up from his bowing at all. Without this he's anyway going to get up. Then because Hashem is okay, the place he should get straightened up is at Hashem. Okay, now know again, they spelled Rosh Hashanah, a minute to daven Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, with bowing. Ain't so let's go with Sof Bracha, with Tzkilah, so they don't have to straighten up except at the end of the Bracha or at the beginning of it. I guess even though there's Hashem's name in between.